Hello YouTube, this is going to be my first video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to solve the Pyraminx using the intuitive 4LE method and my variation on that if you want to solve top first. Sit back and enjoy. Okay, intuitive 4LE is all about like using no algorithms and just your intuition, but you are going to need to know some things called triggers. One you probably already know is called the sledgehammer, which is R prime, L, R, L prime. Or if you're doing the lefty version, it's the other way around. L, R prime, L prime, R. So those are the two, or not the main two, but two of the triggers that you're going to need to know. Other ones include a side, like weird sledge where you rotate the cube kind of and go like this. Yeah, it's kind of weird, and then same on the other side. And then there's one more set of triggers that you're gonna need to know. It's this. It's a basic insertion, like for beginner's method, where you would see that you want to insert this edge down to the bottom to make the whole bottom face, or LBL, or layer by layer, whatever you're using, and you would move the opposite side away from this from this edge up, and then move the top towards that side and then down to insert that, and then you just do some sort of last layer case to solve it. That's another one of the triggers. It's just this. Or on the other side is, yeah, pretty simple. So yeah, those are all the triggers that you're gonna need to know to learn intuitive 4LE. Once you know all the triggers, you can start by scrambling up your cube, or Pyraminx rather, tetrahedron, whatever you want to call it. And if you already know how to solve the Pyraminx, which you should, if you don't, then I'll leave a link in the description for Paradox Cubing's tutorial on how to solve the Pyraminx. That's what I watched when I first wanted to know, and he has a great channel, so I'll link you to that in the description. But you're going to start by building the three centers. You're going to build a V just like you would in layer by layer. So I've already started building the red side, and I can just move this edge out into its position, and then we only need one more, so we can do this one right here. Okay then. That's not what I expected to do. Okay, hang on, let me scramble that up. That's a special case. Okay, so insert this edge, and then this one right here, just like that. Now we have our V right here, and this is what you should have, something like this on the top. If you don't, then cool. But so the basics of 4LE, what you're gonna do is you're going to look at this edge that's in the last slot, the edge slot in your V. The last edge slot. These two colors are yellow and green. Yellow and green. So what you're going to do is put this edge in between its two corresponding centers, the yellow and green centers. So on the top, not anywhere in the bottom. So on the top we have the yellow and green centers right here, and we need to put this in between them. And when we do that, it's going to be in the back connected with these, and it'll kind of form a little block right here. And if you turn the tip so it matches, it'll just make this block right here, and then you have these 3 edges left, because previously you had 4, that's why it's called 4LE, 4 last edges. So if we moved it this way, it would not match. See, it would not match. It would be kind of inserted backwards. So what we have to do is move it so that yellow, the one farthest away from us, is the same color as the one that's facing us on the bottom. So we move that side up so it connects, move this back so the block is in the back, and then the same side down again. So that for me was just our U prime, R prime, but it may be something on the other side different for you. Just it's fairly intuitive and you can figure it out on your own. So it's just, yeah. So now you have a block in the back. You have this block in the back, so now you have these 3 edges that still need to be solved. So you're gonna look for the edge that needs to go down here, and that is the red and yellow edge, because I'm looking for the bottom color, which is red, so this one is red. Now if the red was facing you, then you'd probably know what to do. You'd do a sledgehammer, or some variation of a sledgehammer. I'll get into that later. But in this case, it's facing away from you, so you're going to do the insertion thing. But look, it's not solved. You have a 2-flip case, and you don't want that. You want the whole thing to be solved. So this is where your first 2 triggers are going to come into play. So if you can see here, these 2 colors, when this is facing outwards, these 2 colors that are next to it, if they are the same, then you're going to do one of these 2 algorithms. If they're different, then you're just going to do a normal insertion like that, and then it'll be solved. If these 2 colors are different, but right now they're the same, so I have to rotate these 3 edges counterclockwise, this direction. See, this has to go to here, and yeah, just like that. So if it has to go this direction, you're gonna do this set of triggers. You're gonna do a right-handed sledgehammer, and then you're gonna do a rotate the cube, and then you're going to do a left side first, weird, awkward sledge thing, what DG Cubes calls it, I don't know, but it looks like this. And once you do that, your cube should be solved. Mine was just offset a little bit because the block wasn't aligned in the beginning, but that is that case. Now, of course, you can always have the opposite case where instead of this coming here, it's gonna come down here. Oh, and by the way, this is what the same case will look like when the block in the back is already like in solved position. It'll look like the same color on this, but it's just a 3 cycle. So this needs to come down here in this time. So last time when I went to here, we did the right-handed sledge first, like that. But this time, since it needs to come down here, we're gonna do the lefty sledge first, which looks like this. And then from there, you want to rotate the opposite direction as you did last time. This is pretty much the inverse of the last case. And you do the right-handed awkward sledge. Like that. And your cube should be solved. Now here's the second kind of case I was talking to you about, where the color will be facing away from you. And these 2 colors are different instead of the same. When they're different, it's just really easy. It's the beginner's insertion, where you just insert it like that, and then it's also will be on the other side. If it's already solved, if the block is already solved, it's going to be rotated once you do the thing. Let me see if I can do that, like this. If the block is solved and you have the 2 opposite colors, I mean, remember, these 2 colors don't match. the side that has the bottom color on it that's facing away from you does not count. Only these two colors count. When they're opposite, you just do the beginner sledge or insertion algorithm. Now when this is solved, of course it's the same case. It's still the same case, and you still do the insertion alg, but it's gonna be rotated differently. So just to get that out of the way, that's not gonna mess anything up. So yeah. The next two cases are next four if you don't count the inverses, or if you count the inverses, well, are the cases where on your edge that has your bottom color on it, the bottom color is facing you, not away from you. In these cases, you'll just do some variation of a sledgehammer. So in this case, I see that it's facing me, and when you do a normal sledgehammer like this, these two colors, the opposite colors, are going to be the same when you do a normal sledge. So this doesn't matter right now. All you're caring about is this and these two colors right here. They're the same. This is facing you. So on the side that the colors is, you're just gonna do, in this case, the left-handed sledge, like that. Or if it was on the right side, over here, just do the righty sledge. Now the last two cases that I will be covering are the cases where your bottom color is facing you, and these two colors over here that are opposite of this are opposite, or they're different. These two colors are different. So if you did a normal sledgehammer, you would get a two flip, and no one likes two flips, or at least most people don't. I do. So what you want to do for this is this is the awkward sideways sledge that I was talking about earlier, and that we used in the 3 cycle cases. But this one, this is on this side. The bottom color is on the left side, so we're gonna rotate it so it's on the top, like right here. If it was right here, we'd do this, but we're doing this. And then you're always gonna remember, this is the top. We're always gonna do the top first, no matter what. So in this case, it's just the awkward sideways sledge with the right side first, and you're holding it this way, so it's just that. Yeah, so yeah, you just do it like that when you rotate it, and then, oops. This is the mirror of that case, where it's on this side. These two colors are different, so yeah, it's just on the left side. Remember, this is still the top, so we just do that. And that is basic 4LE. Very, very simple. You may be familiar with the 2 types of Pyraminx methods. There's the V first, that the normal 4LE is, where you make a, sorry, I'm a little bit slow here, I'm trying to look through the camera, where you make a V and you solve all but one, and then you do the rest however your method goes. Sometimes you'll do that last piece or whatever. I don't really know what you're gonna do. But then there's the other type of method where you will make a top first, this block of a top first, like this. Like this would go there, and then this last edge goes in between those two, and then you'd make the top first, and then however your method goes, you would solve the rest of the cube. So I am pretty sure that I invented a 4LE with the same cases and stuff, top first method, for if you want to do top first, because during your inspection time you might see if you want to use V first or top first. It's good to know both ways so you can be more efficient with your times. But this is my top first method that I created. I'm pretty sure I created it. If someone else has before me, then please let me know. That would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so anyway, we're going to start out the same as all top first methods. We're going to make a top, but in mine, you're only going to do 2 of the edges, not the third one. Kind of like the V that you would do, where you only do 2 edges and not the third one, but this is a top. So I can see, like if I did inspection time, I would see that I could make a easy start of a V like that. This one is out of placement, and this one right here can just go right here, whatever you want to do. But oops, hang on, let me get back. There we go. I can see that this edge is already solved within this partial top, and this edge is flipped. So I'm going to do a top first method, in this case, my method that I'm pretty sure I invented. So, just to move this, just to like flip this in its place, you could do the 2 flip algorithm to flip these 2, or you could, this is much easier actually. You can just move this side down, because you want to flip it so that it's in between its 2 correct centers. Kind of like when you're inserting the edge in between its 2 correct centers in the 4LE cases. But I would move it over here so that the farthest one is the same as the one that's right here, and match it up like that, and I see that I have a nice face kind of block right here, and the big block is, the big part of it is yellow, because this edge is not solved. Now what I'm going to do is, I already know that the bottom side is going to be the green side, because green is not on this tip. And all 3 green centers are actually on they are not facing the bottom. So why we have this edge not inserted, or not solved, is so we can use it kind of like a keyhole in the keyhole method to bring down all of these centers to the bottom. So I don't care what's in this edge placed yet, so I can just move this side down, then move the bottom so that this edge piece is still where this center is going to be, then move that center down, and then move it over here so this green center is like that, and then move this down. And now I have all the green centers on the bottom, and I still have this block. Now, sometimes you will get the edge that's flipped in there. Doesn't really matter what happens, because you'll see. So whatever you do, you want to find that block that you build, the big face that you made in the beginning. In this case, it's yellow. Now there's going to be three pairs of colors that are solved, the centers on the bottom layer. You want to find the yellow one, or the one that matches these colors. So mine is right here, so I'm going to match them up like this, and now as you can see we have a V with 2 edges solved, just like in the V first method, but this was top first pretty much. And now it's just 4LE, so this is red and green, so put it in between these 2, move it to the back. Now what case do I have? Actually, oh, this is another case I didn't cover. Wow. Sometimes you will have the edge that is in its solved position that's flipped, and if it's there and it is solved and it's not flipped, then you can just do a normal beginner's last layer case. But if it is flipped, then you can take it out like this and then see what edge is in here now. Or like this case, you can see that another edge is in its place and it's also flipped. And then we can just do the 2 flip algorithm to flip both of these and solve the cube. So if you don't already know the 2 flip algorithm, it's a lefty sledge, rotate this direction, and then a righty sledge. That should solve the cube. Thank you for watching these tutorials, and come back for more videos soon. Please subscribe and comment and like the video. Thank you for your support. Bye.